everyone. So I am here today to I was making a video for to cover two things, and I was actually going to try and make it on my computer, but I just could for some reason my program was not picking up my actual camera. So I'm using my phone, which apparently if you look directly at it makes you look like you're looking over here. So it's really bothering me, but there's nothing really I can do about it. So I'm very sorry if it looks like I'm looking like all over the place, but I'm not. But the first thing I wanted to show was, ta-da! Vi is back together. Vi is my boy and girl Sky in the tan resin, and it's in the new tan resin, so he is in French resin, not normal urethane resin, so that's why his tan is like this. I actually have grown to love it. When I first got him, I didn't know that they had changed resin, and I was kind of pissed because I wanted him darker, but this actually fits his character remarkably well, so I'm very happy about it. And he's on the type, I believe it's type 2 body, so he's single jointed, and that actually, I know that has gone out of fashion with a lot of doll owners, but I love his single jointed body. It's so beautiful, and it holds poses remarkably well for its limitations, and I don't know, I just like the shape of it. He has very big hips, and it actually works very, very well for his character because it's very slender. The other one was really, the double jointed body, which I believe is type 3, was very like kind of muscular and just not his character. He's supposed to be a little fey boy, about 16 or so, and it was just odd to me to, I couldn't even imagine him on the other body. But he is finally back together. He has been apart for a very long time. He's been headless for a while, for a long while. I would say at least 3 months, it feels like. It could be longer, actually. So I think I went to redo his face up in December, but I actually cannot remember. But I actually had, he, had his previous face up, and that face up was actually temporary. The girl, this actually, Vi is not my character. He actually belongs to my friend, and I own him in doll form because he is Rye, my Doll's Own Wing 2's boyfriend, and I just couldn't imagine getting one doll without the other. So I got him, and the factory face up he came with did not look like the website. It was awful. I have a picture of it on my Flickr, and I'll probably post a link to that, if only because it was just awful. It was not what I expected going off the website. So what got me actually into really wanting to try face-ups, like I had received my Decadol Decadol Bobby blank, and that's what made me get face-up supplies in the first place. But what really wanted me to get into face-ups is because of him, actually, because I really wanted to redo his face-up. I didn't want to send him off. I get really nervous about just the thought of sending any of my dolls out in any capacity, especially reading some of the horror stories of like lost dolls and whatnot, and people, not even lost, but people won't even return them. Like, I just don't want to deal with that. So I was like, well, I'll learn face-ups. But it was intimidating for him. Like, for my own characters, I do my own thing, and if people like it, they like it, or if they don't, that's fine. They're my characters and how I see them. But this character is not mine and my friend's, what she thought really mattered to me. And she hated his last face up, and it made me not like it. But in hindsight, it actually was not his character. I mean, the execution was not the best because, to be honest, I mean, I think he received like my 6th overall face up. But it also didn't fit his character in just design. Like, I put a lot of black around his eyes, and the blushing now that I've redone it, I realize that it shouldn't have went where it did last time. Like right now, I put it on the apple of his cheeks, and it just fits his face much better because his face is just round. He has no like defined cheekbones really on his sculpt. So his last face up, I had one day just looked over at him and went, enough is enough, I have to get rid of that face up. So I took his head off, determined to do it, and then I just didn't. I got very intimidated since he's not my character, and I wanted him to look pretty to the girl whose character he actually is. And so he just sat and sat, and it's funny what made me actually get inspired to actually finally get over my fear and hate him. It was actually a prompt from nellacuriosity. I heard the prompt and I was like, well crap, the doll that I need to use to answer the prompt is blank and sitting apart and crap. So like I actually got inspired to finally do his face up, and so I could answer her prompt, which sounds really silly, but that's the truth of it. And that's as close as I think I can get without it blurring too bad. I'm actually really proud of this face up. I made it lighter under his eyes. I didn't put any eyeliner under his eye. I did put it on his upper eyelids simply because I wanted his eyes defined, because I love how large they are. I also did his lips different, and I put the blushing in different places, and I tried to do better with his eyebrows. His face up actually ended up being really simple to do once I got the blushing part correct. Because the blushing, when I first did it, I used a lot of pink, which was just wrong. Never use pink, like straight out pink blushing on a doll this color. Just don't. It was just wrong, like because it was just straight up pink. I put a little bit of red in it, but it wasn't, no. So I nailed the color, I think, and I was very happy. And just from there, it just was really simple to do. And I think it's because his sculpt just really inspired me. He's just an adorable sculpt. I think he's very underrated. I don't know anyone who still owns a boy and girl Sky, unfortunately. So it's rare to see him. I haven't seen him in I would say easily a year. So it's really quite sad, but he's so adorable. But anyway, to answer nellacuriosity's prompt, which is, you know, the second reason I made this video, was she had asked, you know, if you're introducing someone to the, I'm hoping I'm remembering this correctly, if you're introducing someone to the hobby, which doll do you choose to show out of your collection to them? And it actually is Vi. He's the one I always choose to show. I have went to him since I got him. And I know why, but yeah, no other dolls had a chance. I always show him. And the reason why is, first of all, I think he's insanely adorable, as I have stated. I just find him absolutely adorable. And because of that, I find his face not intimidating. He's not too realistic, but he's also not completely, like, way out there, which is good. I don't want to, like, freak people out. Like, I don't want to go in, here's my Sabic, and he's like 80 centimeters and he looks really, not hyper realistic, but just realistic enough that I can see if you're afraid of dolls that you may would feel a little edgy about that. The second reason why I show him specifically is because of his size. He is a 60 centimeter doll, which by the way is my favorite size. And I feel like it gives people a good example of how these dolls differ from, like, your standard fashion dolls that you can get off shelves, because his size is insanely different, but also it's not the most intimidating doll size I have. Because, like, I don't want to be like, well, here's Rye, who's 72 centimeters. I think that'd be too much doll for some people. And I just think it, plus like he's portable, he's light, he's not floppy, so like he kind of gives a good representation of why I really like these dolls, or I should say love actually, because I don't just like them. But he's the doll I go to first. A lot of my friends actually like my dolls already, so I don't really have to introduce people too much to them. Actually, I do have one friend who actually is afraid of them, like they freak her out. But she, weirdly enough, she likes my Dulce boys. I don't know why, but she does, which is neat. But at the time when I was introducing my dolls to her, because she hadn't seen them, Vi actually was not together. And I feel like she'd like him. I don't know. Like he's one of the dolls I have in my collection that people just seem to like, and so that's why that's another reason why I just go for him first. Like I think he just encompasses a lot of just what I adore in this hobby. So yeah, that's the intro to that prompt. Well, the part of it. The other part, like, I've come to the conclusion, I guess. That's not the word I was thinking, but the word I was thinking just ran on my head. I have come to a conclusion that it's okay not to like my dolls, but to at least respect that I have them and respect that I'm in this hobby. That's all I ask for. I don't need my friends to actually like my dolls or like that I have them or be enamored by them in any way, but just as long as they respect that I'm in this hobby, I'm perfectly fine with it. And they all seem to. I know they think it's a waste of money, which I can understand for a lot of people who, you know, this isn't their thing, but at the same time I think they understand it because they're into Harry Potter, and they go to a lot of Harry Potter conventions, and I think they're like, well, you see, dolls are her Harry Potter convention. You know what I mean? Like it's her thing. It's what she's doing, and I respect what they do. They respect what I do, and I think that's, you know, why things work out so well. So that's all I can think of right now. I just really wanted to show Vi and answer the prompt that inspired me to get Vi together, and I don't know, I'm just so happy he's back together. He's been apart for so long, and he is literally my favorite doll to, like, just, you know, hold. I think it's because since he's single jointed and he's also tightly strung still after 2 years, he's just fun to handle. He's not bulky, and he doesn't just like not cooperate with you, because I have a ton of dolls that don't want to cooperate with me because they either need different string or they're just too big, and while I like my dolls, you know, this size or bigger, that doesn't mean that like they're not cumbersome. So yeah, I guess that's enough for the rambling as of right now. I hope this video looks okay since it's on my phone, and this is the first time I've recorded a video this way on my phone. And I hope you can see Vi okay, and you'll probably be seeing him a lot. Because first of all, I'm just super proud of his face up, and second of all, that I really do love holding him, and I plan to get him some things. I plan to try and get him a sheep hat. I'm so hoping I can get him. He needs a sheep hat like you wouldn't believe. I think it might be one of my birthday present splurges, because my birthday is on the 15th of next month, and I definitely think that I'm planning to get some doll accessories as my splurges, because I always like splurge for myself for my birthdays. Because I'm at that age now where like I really don't expect my friends to get me too much, so I'm like, I'll spoil myself. So so yeah, so that is it for now. Thank you if you watched, and that's all. Bye.